Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get started for today. Welcome back to SSL Pro Season 3. I'll be your commenter today, Lord Cranial. Alright, we're already up to Group Stage 2. I think we got a lineup of pretty solid games today from the winners of the first group stage. Alright, we'll be starting off today with Group A. First match on the docket will be Cristiano versus Mixu. After that, we'll be moving directly into the winners match between Rostock Casimir. Looks like Rostock actually got a walkover, so he went directly into the winners bracket, and he'll be facing off against the winner between Cristiano and Mixu. So with that being said, we will go ahead and hop into the game. Thank you guys for hanging out today, and hopefully we can deliver some pretty good StarCraft for you today. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on Dragon Scales. Here in the top left-hand side of the map, the blue Zerg pieces, and representing Berserker, it is Mixu. On the other side of the map with the pink Protoss pieces, representing Blazer, it is Cristiano. Alright. While we're letting these two players get warmed up and ready to go, get their I'm not sure where I was trying to go with that. Quick pro block. Well, Cristiano going for a quick pro block. I just want to go ahead and shout out that we do have new Matcherino codes. I do apologize, it seems the chat window has disappeared. Do have new Matcherino codes, so definitely check that out if you have a chance. Also, we do have some good news about the Ko-Fi page. We have started introducing our replay packs to it. So currently the SSL Cup 30 has been uploaded, as well as SSL Pro Season 2. All of those replays should be up there now. I believe the UK Cup will be coming soon, so definitely check those out. If you've got a little bit of extra money, definitely consider supporting some grassroots StarCraft. It'd be much appreciated. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at what our players are doing. Seems pretty standard opening for both players. Hatch block was successful for Cristiano, Mixu having to take the third base instead of the natural. Pretty normal stuff. Nothing to be too concerned about. Cristiano going for the Stargate opening. Alright. Still a fairly common opening in PvZ. Sure, it's not something that Mixu is too pressed about. It's a little bit difficult to defend the two very, very separated bases, but not the worst thing in the world to deal with, I would say. First Adept already moving across the map. Oracle on the way. I'm sorry, there's a second Oracle. My apologies. Alright, Oracle's trying to dive into this mineral line real quick. Maybe get a little bit of scouting. Definitely not going to get a drone. But... oh, actually, they do not commit to the shade there. They're going to get away. Makes you trying to cut these two Adepts off. Actually, it's going to catch them out here in the open. And it looks like Christianer is going to lose both of them. This is a bit of map presence lost, but we do have the Oracle here. And 2 drones do go down at the cost of a good bit of hull damage there. Makes you trying to stay on top of it. 3 drones down, but I feel like that's almost expected whenever you're going up against an Oracle. Not the biggest of losses. Makes you just casually droning up. Third Oracle about to pop out there for Christianer. Twilight Council follow-up. I'm assuming we're going to see some really big gateway energy out of Christianer here going into the mid game. Christianer poking in. Only gets 2 drones and almost loses an Oracle for it. Mixu's defense has been pretty good so far. Drone losses haven't been catastrophically bad. Adepts decide to commit to the Shade. Mineral line is going to be evacuated, but it looks like Mixu's going to clean this up pretty quickly. Christianer trying his best to actually trim down this drone count, but it doesn't look like it's working. Roachborn just finished up for Mixu. Looks like we're going to have the layer here in a second. I'm imagining we're probably going to stop it around... I'm pretty sure we're going to stop around 66 drones and just absolutely go wild. Mixu keeping tabs on the 4th base. Four more drones will be coming out. Looks like we're going to be starting a lot of roach production here in just a second. Oh, we're actually committing to more... Okay. Squad of Stalkers out on the field now for Christianer. There's not a ton here to be able to defend it. We have a handful of Queens. Queens are pretty good. Stalker's continuing to poke away. He might actually be able to get this. Does get the cancel. Reinforcing Stalkers coming up now. Now there are a bunch of roaches that are about to pop out here in just a second, so Christianer's time here might be a little bit limited. Is he going to get a second cancel on this? He does get a second cancel on the hatchery. Big delay and a bit of money lost there for Mixu. Mixu trying to crank out as many units as possible right now. Christianer continuing to stay in Mixu's face. +1 weapons, shining a good bit here. All right, Mixu finally has a decent number. Ooh, nice blink away. Finally has a decent number of roaches to push this back, and Christianer is going to have to back off, continuing to commit to the Stalker production. A few more gateways are going to enter the production queue there. Mixu trying to crank out as many units as possible. Does lose one of the Overlords, so this is going to slow him down just a little bit. Ooh, we're actually getting Dropper Lords now. This is interesting. Alright, Lynx tried to go for a backstab. However, Christianer's main army is in position to deal with it. Not too much he's going to be able to deal with that. Now, I don't know if Christianer actually knows that the main army is here. He has seen a couple of Lings over here and then the Roaches here, but I don't think he realizes what's happening here. Mixu's main army pushing directly into the natural of Christianer. We do have a creep highway being formed here up the ramp. And yeah, I mean, Christianer's army is just kind of out of position here. The Stalker's struggling to take on the rear flank here of Mixu's army. Mixu just starting to pour into the main base here. He's actually committing part of his army to defeating the Stalkers here at the third base. Nice stasis war. Takes out a couple of those units. We also have the super battery putting in some work there. Mixu unable to push into the third base, but he is doing damage here in the main base. Cristiano trying to crank out some more tech to deal with this, but really he just needs units right now. He's grabbing a couple of zealots here, but oh no, charge just finished up, so he should be good there. Mixu continuing to hold down the R button, getting as many roaches out as possible. We have another backstep here at the fourth base. Things are looking very bleak here for Cristiano. 42 probes have gone down so far, which is just an absolutely insane number. Mixu, content with the damage done, is going to back up here. Cristiano has taken some brutal losses here. Alright, so the Zealots are actually sent here as a bit of a counter attack, but it looks like these Zealots are going to be taken out. Oracle's only watching from the sky as their brothers die. Cristiano trying to save this fourth base location. Alright, Cristiano trying to save the fourth base once again. Fortunately, he's going to lose it to the Ravager Biles. Mixu continuing to just crank out as many roaches as possible. Now, looks like Cristiano is going to be able to push Mixu back here. However, there is going to be reinforcing roaches that will pop out of their eggs here very, very soon. And it looks like, oh, at first I thought that was a surround, but that's just the drones. Oh, no, it is a surround. Okay. The drone's actually trying to pitch in here and help. Cristiano a little bit, or Mixu on the back foot here just a little bit. The Archon's absolutely putting in a ton of damage. It looks like we are going to get cleaned up here, unfortunately. The last of the Archons fall. There's not really that much health or that much splash damage to be had here in this army now. Cristiano once again on the back foot, retreating back to his base. Setting up for another counterattack here. We did lose 22 drones, so we're back on kind of even worker counts here. We are now hitting into the late game with a low economy on both sides. These Zealots out here on their cigarette break. Oh, unfortunately, the Oracle does get taken out. How many Oracles do we have on the field? Oh, we have lost all the Oracles. Okay. Bit unfortunate. You have a couple of roaches just kind of walking into the natural. Looks like we might be getting put into a bit of a base trade situation here, as Cristiano is just committing to the attack rather than falling back and trying to defend. I feel like that's probably the right call here. Alright, Cristiano engaging into the, well, this is technically the natural, but Mixu sending a couple units back to try and help deal with this attack. Unfortunately, Cristiano's army is getting kind of spread out and split apart. Nothing's really helping reinforce the Zealots over here, but does take out the fourth base. Looks like the rest of the army is going to retreat. Where did, huh. Interestingly enough, it looks like Cristiano is now the one in charge of this game. Both players battered, bruised, and bloodied. Mixu trying to engage into the third base location, but it looks like it's just not going to be quite enough. These roaches just kind of falling off, really. Mixu trying to keep Cristiano over on... just kind of trying to keep him occupied so that he doesn't immediately come in and just kill him. But unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. Excuse me, I had a bit of an issue with my throat there. Either way, Cristiano's going to take game number 1. Kind of shocking. Cristiano was on the back foot there for a little while, but he managed to survive and get some counter damage done, get himself back in the game. With that, we'll go ahead and hop into game number 2 between these players. All right, here we are on Gresvin, spawning in the top left-hand side of the map. Down 1 match, it is Mixu. And on the other side of the map, the pink Protoss pieces, it is Christianer. It was kind of interesting in that last game. Like, sometimes it still kind of surprises me how hard roaches start to fall off once the Zerg's opponent starts to get upgrades and like decent tech units and whatnot. Like, if it almost seemed like once the Archons started coming out, the roaches just fell apart. Like, I know that's how it's supposed to work, but even still to this day, it's just kind of interesting to see that happen. If you're struggling with roaches, just get tech out. Just get your tech out. Roaches fall off so hard if you... Roaches will just fall off so hard if you, like, just have tech units. Fairly standard opening out of both players. Nothing too committed. We're just going to be just building up. I'm actually interested to see what Mixu is going to try and attempt for this game. Alright, directly into Queen. Are we, however, going to stay and gas this game? Looks like no. But that being said, Christianer going for a Twilight opening this game. So I guess the question now is, like, are we going to see a committed glaive attack, or are we just going to go for blink? First Adept going to be poking around here a little bit. We are seeing the Robo come out now. More gateways? Or I guess a gateway. And a Dark Shrine. Okay. So, you know, actually it does get the, let's get a probe there and delays the third base a little bit. So this build always kind of reminds me of, like, the disparity between, you know, top tier play and, you know, kind of your normal average player. Let's say like gold or plat. Like, normally this DT build probably just kills gold and plat Zerg players, like, just immediately. it's just such a devastating build. But normally a lot of high tier players, like, they're not going to immediately die to this. Like, as we can see, Mixu already has detection here. It's not going to be too big of a deal yet. PTs are already detected. We already have units prepared and waiting to intercept them. It's just not that big of a deal to experienced players. Do have the Archon coming up. That could be a little bit more dangerous to Mixu. Going directly into Immortals. Mixu immediately going into Roaches. Mixu's Queen positioning actually really good. Able to intercept this Warp Prism pretty effectively. That being said, it is going to slip in here into the natural location. Nice pickup micro there by Christiana. And looks like Mixu's feeling safe again. We are just popped out 7 drones. 2 more in the queue. But I feel like Christiana kind of has a pretty good game plan here. We're going directly into Immortals. Blink on the way as well. We do have a big gateway explosion as well. Christiana's still trying to find an angle to attack with this one Immortal. There's just not much he can do, but it's still just keeping Mixu on his toes, and also, you know, if you can find a crack in the armor and exploit it a little bit, it's always a good thing. Keeping a drop active is always a good thing. Alright, so I think Mixu is going to see these, or probably did see these Immortals here. More Immortals, more Archons. It's going to be a very hard army for Mixu to beat. He's at 75 drones. Should be able to just kind of explode with army now. The classic instance of quantity versus quality, really. Christiana pushing out just as Blink and +1 are finishing. Really nice timing there. +2 immediately starts up. Mixu trying to set up a defense here, grabbing a couple of Banelings and a couple of Ravagers to help deal with this. Archon does take a couple of hits there at the start. Nice force fields there out of Christiana, blocking out that army. Mixu is going to be able to pop those force fields and have a little bit better surround here on the army. Archons are going to be immediately taken out, and it looks like this army is just going to get completely overwhelmed here. Too much variety in Mixu's composition, really. The Archon's immediately getting taken out. Plus the fact that the Banelings could now roll in. Pretty big deal. But Christiana's going to try and keep the aggression up. Really wants to take out that 4th base if he can. Ooh, nice, nasty bile taken there. He actually does take out the 4th base. This is definitely going to hurt Mixu's game going forward. But Mixu trying to chase this army down. Now, I feel like maybe Christiana probably committed a little bit too much to that attack, because Mixu is still powering up pretty quickly and has a significantly... Yeah, I would say definitely a better army at this point. Like, most of Christiana's army is Stalker based. We only have one Immortal. You can make magic happen with Stalkers, but I don't know. I don't know about this. Handful of Stalkers here around the super battery. Mixu immediately taking that out, making sure that Christiana cannot reinforce those shields. Nasty amount of probes taken out by the Banelings. Looks like Mixu is actually going to back up. Going to lose the Queens, unfortunately. Still have a handful of units here. Gonna hang out there for now. Cristiano starting to crank his army supply back up. Oh, we do actually have a little bit of a backstab here. Were those were slow zealots too. That's pretty funny. How did they even get in there? Where's the prism? We lose the prism? Oh, we must have lost the prism. Alright, looks like Mixu wants to stay on the offensive now. Keep Cristiano kind of contained to these 3 bases as much as possible. We do have disruptors coming out, though, so this is going to be a little bit more difficult for Mixu to keep Cristiano back, boxed in. Ooh, nice disruptor hit. Just an absolute bloodbath. Another decent disruptor hit, but it looks like it's just going to be too much here. Mixu really pushing in here hard, and it looks like the rest of the Stalkers are going to be ripped apart by the Roach Ravager. GG's going to be called, and Mixu takes game number 2. Alright, that's going to put us on our ace match here. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, here we are on Babylon. Spawning in the top left-hand side of the map. It is Mixu. And it's good in his head. It is Cristiano. I'm assuming he's talking about his army composition in the last game, maybe? Always nice to see the players chatting. All right, this game Cristiano not going for the hatch block. It's gonna let Mixu have it. Yeah, I feel like in that last game, it was definitely... like, taking out the 4th base feels like it's pretty important for a Protoss player, but at the same time, he committed so much to it. That was a lot of Archons lost, to a point where his army was almost entirely Stalker-based. I mean, I get it. Like, if you let Zergs... If you let Zergs kind of do what they want on their side of the map, it gets scary, but you also can't commit too hard. A little bit of pro-harass there. Little dude's always just trying to find some sort of trouble to get into, whether it's picking away at minerals or killing building SCVs. Harassing drones that are trying to build. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You suck. Alright. Tech choice time for Mr. Cristiano. I'm assuming it's going to be Stargate. Yeah, Stargate's going to be popping up there. Let's go for the triple Oracle threat again. Alright, let's see if the Adept actually can get anything done here. Quick shade into the Nat. Oh. Actually not even checking the drone count at the mineral line. Maybe I missed the first shade. Second Adept coming to join. Queen's gonna poke out to try and intercept. Oh. Yeah, I believe the Adepts should oh, actually committing to it. Nice little Evo block there by Mixu. Is Cristiano going to get a kill? It looks like no. Actually, really well done there by Mixu. Quick thinking to put down the Evo chamber block, and then getting those guys out of there. Also, all that effort, you killed your own drone. No. Oh, this is so unfortunate. Oracle comes in, gets a kill. A lot of hull damage, unfortunately. Oracles are fragile. You gotta take care of them. That's so funny. I can't believe Mixu. That was such like the clutch wall off, the pullback, and then kills his own drone. That's how StarCraft is, baby. So it looks like Cristiano's gonna go for. Not the same build. We're already up to 4 gates. More prisms coming out. Twilight's about to finish up. I'm so bad with my Protoss builds. I'm so sorry, guys. Roach Warren on the way now for Mixu. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? And Roach Ravager ain't too broke. Alright, we do have the Templar Archives on the way, so... Man, Cristiano must want to get aggressive like right off the bat here. What prism? I'm actually not 100% sure what this is. Oh, we're just doing Archon drops? Okay. Oracle's trying to figure out anywhere that Mixu's defenses are lacking. Not quite finding it. Unfortunately, the drop actually gets picked up immediately by an Overlord. Cristiano immediately going after it, taking it out. This actually is kind of a cool build. Like, there's not that much here for Mixu that can actually contest the Archons. Archons do take a little bit of, ooh. I think Mixu's actually, picking up what Cristiano's putting down there. Finally has enough units to actually be a threat to these Archons. A couple of Lings here. Trying to get a little bit of damage done here at the 3rd base. Cristiano, poking away at the 4th with the Oracles. Still moving around with the Archons there. A couple of sentries are going to be taking out the that hit squad of Zerglings. Gets a couple of drone kills. Genuinely not convinced it's that much damage though. I don't know. I mean, Mixu is at a pretty low drone count currently, but I mean the 12. There were 12 drones in the production queue, so I don't know. I'm just never convinced of drone kills unless it's like either in the double digits or very early. Mixu going back into that Roach Ravager Baneling composition. Worked very well for him last game. Now we're going for the Charge Lot Backstab. Not Charge Lot. Not Charge Lot. We're going to see Slow Zealots waltzing up again. Oracle's still actually getting some work done. You'd love to see it here in at this stage of the game. 4th base going up for Cristiano. I just want to see how these Slow Zealots do. Like, this is... Oh man, this is like I can't. Cristiano has to drop right on top of the drones to get anything done. +1 weapons and Psystorm are about to finish up now. It's actually It's going to be a kind of scary army for Mixu to contend with here. Oracle's keeping tabs on the Oracles here. Oracle's keeping tabs on Mixu. 27 Banelings in the queue now. That's a lot of splash. So I'm actually surprised that Cristiano didn't decide to keep some more energy stored for these stasis traps. I figured that was something that he would want to fall back on. Mixu, there was a revelation there. Cristiano is well aware of what's happening. We do have storms stored up on some of these High Templar. But this is going to be kind of a scary ramp for Mixu to push up on. We do have a couple of Banelings that are going for a backstep. I'm assuming here or maybe here. Actually, probably here. We also have a couple of Zealots, both in the main base and the third base of Mixu, going to be tearing apart those mineral lines pretty quickly. 11 drones have already gone down. Meanwhile, Mixu is trying to go up the ramp here. Nice storms. Does take out a whole bunch of those Zerglings, and we do have the Oracles coming in to pick apart some of those units from the sky. We do have one stasis trap that went off. Not too many Zerglings were actually caught in it, though. Cristiano holds the ramp, manages to pick off a couple more of those Banelings, and it looks like Cristiano so far has come out on top of this trade. We still have 2 abandoned mineral lines that just aren't getting mined, as well as more significant losses. Mixu's going to be kind of pedal to the metal here. We're cranking out more Zerglings. We're going to try and get +1 outs, but I think at this point, Cristiano, I would say, has a leg up. Oof. Cristiano trying to push into this 4th base location again. We do have a couple of Zerglings that are trying to come in for the backstab. It's going to take out a couple of these probes just because they're so damaged from before having to back up. And now Cristiano's actually, or Mixu's going to push forward with the main army here. It looks like Cristiano might have gotten a little bit caught off guard, but the storms are pretty good. This actually does seem like a pretty scary army that Cristiano is fielding right now. Continuing to push the Roach Ravager back as hard as possible. The storm's doing absolutely just crazy amounts of damage, really. Cristiano trying to be careful of the Ravager files here. Nice storms once again. Mixu trying to take out some of these sentries with the Ravager Vials, actually managing to take out one of them. Ooh, nice little trap there set by Mixu. I think he wanted to try and keep Cristiano from actually pushing backwards if he needed to. But it looks like Cristiano doesn't really care. His army's just too strong at this point. Pushing into the 4th base. This might be the last remnant of the Mixu's army. GG's going to be called. Cristiano takes game number 3. Well done by Cristiano. Alright, that is going to put us onto the winners match. As a reminder, Rostock did get a walkover, from Casimir. So that is going to set us up with Rostock versus Cristiano. Protoss PvP. Oh no. This is going to be fun. Although I feel like both of these players do tend to play pretty straight up in PvP. We'll see. We'll see. That being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, spawning in the top left-hand side of Gresvin. Actually has one of the nice little automated trophies. That's nice. It is Rostock. And on the other side of the map, the pink Protoss pieces. Give it up for Cristiano. Just a reminder again, if you do subscribe to our Ko-Fi, you can now get access to replays. We currently have the SSL Cup number 30 up, as well as SSL Pro Season 2. All of those replays should be up there now. UK Cup will, UK Cup will be uploaded shortly. I don't have an exact timetable on that, but it should be fairly soon here. But definitely check it out. If you want to support some grassroots StarCraft movement, that is an absolutely fantastic way to do so. And we very much appreciate your patronage. Double gate opening out of both players, fairly standard stuff. Yeah, both Christianer. Okay, you're being sneaky. Yeah, you're both being sneaky. What am I talking about? It's PvP. You're both down for shenanigans. Actually, not that far away from each other. This is one of my favorite tropes of PvP. Just like I can fit both of the proxies in the same screen. Christianer, I don't know, Stargate. Yeah. Rostock going for the Robo. Interesting. Alright, Christianer going for the double Adept opening. Rostock is going to have to be a little bit careful here. Now, Rostock's probe is going to poke up. Actually, it's the same thing. Both probes are going to poke up. They're going to see that there's no tech in the bases. It's just going to be chaos. They're going to see the double gas mining. I mean, what more can I say? It's a PvP. Rostock hiding the probe, too. Smart move, but Christianer's already sussed it out. Actually, I like the Forge skins. Nice. Now, Rostock did opt for the double Stalker. One of them's going to be poking around. I think that, yeah, the Stalkers 3 and 4 should pop out well before that Oracle comes in. Adepts on the prowl now. Yeah, Stalkers are going to... I feel like Christianer did see that these Stalkers were kind of like moving out though. Like, yeah, why are your Stalkers out here, Rostock? Something's up. Something's fishy. This Oracle's about to get so much work done. Rostock, undeterred, actually, is just going to kind of go for it. We're going to have a Warp Prism coming out here soon. 4 Stalkers and an Immortal. Actually, a pretty terrifying combination. Christianer grabbing an extra pylon just to keep the gates from being depowered. We do have the Robobay coming up, and the shield battery is here as well. Have you done anything yet? No. But we do have the Warp Prism. It's you know, the poor man's Blink here. And this is not a good army for combating Stalkers and Immortals. Alright, Rostock's going to fight from the low ground here for just a second. Looks like I should try to take out the gates and limit Christianer's production here for just a second. Rostock continuing to poke away from the low ground. Nice Warp Prism micro here. Trying to prevent any hull damage on these Stalkers, but the first Immortal is going to pop out. I mean, Rostock did get some damage done. I think the damage is over, though, to be perfectly fair. Ooh, actually warping in an Adept and a Sentry. I think that Adept's actually really such a brilliant idea. Alright. Elevatoring up the Immortal to take out some of these Stalkers, potentially. Oh, this Sentry has a Death Wish. My goodness. Ooh, almost loses the Immortal there, but does pick it up just at the last second. I really want to see him just, like, send the Adept up. Oh. Rostock was paying attention, but pulled a little bit too late, unfortunately. Now, it seems like Rostock is starting to fall behind here just a little bit. Yeah, we're down workers. Or else just significant... Ooh, these workers also getting trapped too. Super unfortunate. Christianer's still up. Oh, that's... Rostock actually deciding to pull back here. I think Rostock understands that it's kind of be a moot point to continue trying to push the issue there. We are grabbing 2 extra Adepts, though. Oh? Rostock might be able to catch this Warp Prism. Actually does catch the Warp Prism. Double immortals are dropped. Unfortunately, Rostock does lose the immortal that he had. We're already getting disruptors. I love it. A couple of adepts poking away at a pylon. I doubt they're going to actually get anything done. What? You got to be kidding me. We're going disruptor drop? Yes. Christianer actually managing to take that pylon out. I'm kind of surprised. Oh my god. Rostock is taking out both of those at the front. Rostock continuing to try to defend the main base here. Christianer has now double dropped immortals, so that's pretty scary. That's pretty terrifying. He's trying to deal with the immortals, but there's just not... Maybe there's enough stalkers? Oh, he might... Oh, no. Almost gets the warp prism there, but doesn't quite do it. Now he is pushing up the ramp of Christianer. Does manage to get a decent shot there on one of the immortals. However, the other disruptor has been picked up. Immediately gets taken out. Really nicely done there by Christianer. Excellent, making excellent use of that Stargate that he has. Oh yeah, this army is in big trouble. Christianer actually is fielding quite a scary army here. I don't think the disruptor advantage is really going to be enough. Oh, now there's no advantage. GG to Christianer. Well done. Quick, fast, dirty PvP. As you know, that's just PvP. I don't know what else to say. Really well done to Christianer though. Held the initial push very well and managed to clean up. Alright, we now find ourselves on Dragon Scale. Spawning in the top left hand side of the map. It is Rostock. And on the other side of the map with the pink pieces, it is Christianer. Looks like another double gate start. Rostock taking the deciding to scout here. Christianer not. I take it back. I take back my take back. Okay, Christianer. I think Christianer's just poking down here to make sure that it's not getting cannon rushed. And now he's scouting. So far, nothing too egregious out of either player. Of course, then again, proxies don't start happening until a little bit later. Christianer finding a sneaky little position, dropping a cheeky little pylon down. I'm assuming this is going to be another Stargate proxy, right? Yeah, there we go. Rostock choosing to keep his buildings, actually, where are you going? I want to know where you're going first before I say another word. Oh no, actually does decide to keep his tech there. Keeping the tech in base. Oh no, but he's going to put... Are we going to see a pylon in the gate? I think we're going to see a pylon in the gate in a second. Alright, probe is going to be intercepted. Does see that Rostock has decided to keep a the robo here. Ooh, these adepts just missed this probe here. Double stalker follower up for Rostock. We do have the oracle that's about a third of the way done. some risky stuff. Actually keeping the third gateway in-house. Gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. So I'm assuming we're going to see warp prisms then. Right? An immortal first? Oh no, Rostock, you let the adepts in your house. They're like vampires, you can't invite them in. And by not shutting the door, that's an invitation basically. Oh no, the oracles are gonna come in. Oh, this is hard to watch. Rostock not dead, but definitely not in a good position either. If anything, in a really bad position. Unfortunately, the adepts are not going to actually be able to get into Christianer's base. I think this might have been a little bit of a mistake letting the shield battery finish, so Christianer's going to be locked in his base for a second. Oracle's going to be diving back in. R2, oh my god, how much damage have you done so far? Monster. Dies with 6 kills. So we do now have the pylon. Oh, Rostock down to less than what you start with. 9 probes. This is super unfortunate to see. But he does have a significant army advantage. What do we actually have here? An immortal, 2 adepts, 2 stalkers, and a warp prism and a sentry. So Christiana's gonna have probably gonna have a fight on his hands. We do have the shield battery here. Adepts are going to pop in, try to get some counter damage done. Oh, Rostock, what are you doing? No! Alright, Christiana also going to shade and assert dominance on the field. That being said, I mean, Rostock is pounding up the gate. But we do have an immortal out now for Christiana, as well as the shield battery. It has not been overcharged yet. Kind of a similar situation to game number 1. Ooh, now the immortal is starting to get some damage done. Rostock forces it back up. GG is going to be called. Christiana takes game 2. Man. Well done. Well done to both players. Christiana really knowing his PvP inside and out. Rostock. I mean, Rostock had a pretty crazy run in Stage 1. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I hope to see more of him. All right. Well, with that being said, it is time to hop into Group B. All right. Now we do have the first 4 matches done. We are still waiting on our decider match. But we do still have four sets to cast. I'm excited. And we will be starting with Arogfire versus Gref. Alright, let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, another day, another PvP. Spawning here in the top left-hand side of Gresvin, representing Hasu players, it is Gref. And on the other side of the map, repping Macherino, it is Arogfire. I hope we're ready for more shenanigans. So I'm already... Let's go, Gref. Let's go, Gref. We're already doing a cannon rush. I love it. Arogfire is scouting really early, though, so I think Arogfire might be at advantage, unless Gref can get this probe in and just start going wild. There's a little panic ping there by Gref. Alright, so the first probe is already in the base. Now he is being quite closely chased there. Ooh, nice little mineral. Oh, wow! Taking a couple of hits from the other probes. Wow, that was actually really impressive. That's actually a lot of stuff that happened at once. Griff, what are you doing? Okay, now puts the photon cannon down. So he actually intentionally took a couple of hits while mineral walking to create some space between him and the probes. That another cannon. Oh my god, what a absolute savage! Even stealing the gas. Then if you he put down a building here, but there's nowhere for the probe to actually go. There's no empty space, so it just boots it to the next available empty space. So it boots him out from behind the wall. Now the photon cannon is going to fall, unfortunately. Gref. Oh, it's actually going to get another wall up. This is absurd. Wow, what a cannon rush. Oh my god. Gref takes game number 1 quite commandingly. I am over the moon about that. That was incredible. That did feel like kind of a technical cannon rush there. Really well executed by Gref. Man, Airrock Fire even got the man. Oh wow. Okay, let's just, I don't want to belabor the point. Let's hop into game number 2 and see what happens. Alright, let's see here. Alright, spawning in the bottom left-hand side of Ancient Cistern, taking a very commanding lead. It is Gref. And on the other side of the map, with the red Protoss pieces, it is Airrock Fire. Dude, I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but man, I love PvP cannon rushes. Look, I'll admit they're not fun to play against, but good lord, if you see a well-executed cannon rush in a PvP, like, we're doing it again. Let's go, we're doing it again. Airrock Fire is going to see the second probe moving out, so he should be aware that this is happening again. Is Gref good enough to actually do this a second time? Airrock Fire immediately sending out another probe, I'm assuming to intercept? Yeah. Just immediately sticking a probe there. Now you kind of... Oh, now the best way to do it is to actually just, like, not necessarily attack the probe, but keep a probe very, very close and threaten to attack. Whoop, actually manages to catch the probe. Kills the first one. Second probe is coming up. But I think Airrock Fire is just kind of on top of it right now. Does put down a gateway. Nice little body block. Is he going to wall off? He doesn't have the money to wall off, I don't think. No, I think he did have the money to wall off. He just didn't. Oh, loses the second probe. GG's going to be called. Airrock Fire takes game number 2. Airrock Fire was on top of his game that time. Absolutely catching the first probe as it was coming in. He did let the first probe attack, though, and that did create a little bit of space, but he had 3 other probes coming in, so I guess it didn't really matter. Do apologize. Give me 1 second here. Before we hop into the next match, I'm going to take a quick break. And I will be back in a few minutes. All right, we are back. Apologies for the wait there. While I'm getting this prepared, just a reminder that we do have replays uploaded to our Ko-Fi page now. You know, sending us a couple bucks on Ko-Fi is an excellent way to see. My apologies. Supporting us on Ko-Fi is an excellent way to make sure that you're supporting some grassroots StarCraft. It's an excellent way to do that. So definitely check that out if you have spare money, some spare time. We also have Matcherino links. Definitely check those out if you want to support the tournament directly. Do apologize, I'm really bad at multitasking. Okay. That we should be set and ready to go for game 3 between Aerogfire and Gref. So I'm going to go ahead and make an assumption and potentially make an ass of myself. But I think Gref is going to cannon rush again. And I think Aerogfire is going to suss it out pretty quickly. They did a pretty good job of doing that last time. So, that being said, let's go ahead and hop into game number 3 between these two players. All right. Here we are on the ace match on Royal Blood, spawning in the top right-hand side of the map. Potentially going for his third cannon rush. It is Gref. And on the other side of the map, we have the red Protoss player, Aerogfire. That pylon placement is looking promising. The probe going out's pretty promising. It's another cannon rush. You all owe the Ko-Fi page $5. All right, so Aerogfire is going to catch. It's going to catch the probe. Yep. Quickly trying to intercept. Grabbing a couple of extra probes off the line. Is Gref going to be able to create some space? He does create a pocket, but not enough space for his probe. Yeah, not quite enough. There's just too many probes here. Aerogfire managing to catch the first probe. Is he going to catch the second, though? This one is mineral walking. Trying to create a little bit of space for itself by putting down a pylon, but it looks like Aerogfire might be on top of it. Just not enough space here, and it's even actually there's going to be less and less space as it keeps turning. Ooh, actually really well done. There is a lot more space now. Aerogfire actually continuing with his build. This is some really pro plays, honestly. Cranking out his zealot already. Gref just really not able to create enough space for this probe to actually continue the cannon rush. And Aerogfire is just kind of oh, there he goes. There's enough space. Actually managing to create another pocket for this first cannon. So now Aerogfire might be in a little bit of trouble. Do we have another probe coming down? Or are we just... Okay. Aerogfire takes game number 2. Yeah, I didn't think Aerogfire would be gotten by a cannon rush twice. The first one was really impressive, but Aerogfire's like, I'm not letting that slide again. Well done to Aerogfire. He will be moving on to the winner's bracket. All right. Next up, we have Loki and Geralt. This is actually very exciting. All right. With that, let's go ahead and hop into our second series. All right, here we are on Neo-Humanity. The nice little ZVP on the docket. It is a Terran extinction event, everybody. Spawning in the top right-hand side, representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is Geralt. And on the side of the map, the green Zerg piece is Give It Up for Loki, under the alias Jano. Do have the probe coming across for a little bit of a scouting run. Nothing too egregious out of either player, just a pretty standard startup. Definitely a huge difference from the past 3 games. Probe coming in here, harassing the mineral line. Wait, oh, for a second there I thought Geralt was gonna gas steal. Yeah, I'm imagining that, I'm not super well acquainted with how, Loki likes to play so far. I did cast their games 2 weeks ago or so, but I don't know what Loki's plan is to face off against Geralt here. I do know that Geralt's probably going to go for a Stargate and just try to cause catastrophic amounts of mineral line damage. But Loki is, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the plan is. Oh, Geralt, you had to prove me wrong immediately with the Twilight Council. Good lord. Actually did a pretty good job of body blocking there. Actually fully gets the block too. And attacking with the probe. Oh, this is bullying. This is bullying. Even managing to block with the adept. Actually buying time with the probe for the adept to get there, and then just like not let Loki get the third base. That's amazing. Alright, Loki, what's the plan? What's the follow-up here? There's a... I feel like at this point, Geralt's... And going for the DT shrine too. Oh my goodness. This third base is so late. I genuinely cannot believe Geralt was just like, no, we're doing DT drops today. Oh no, Loki, let it finish. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter in the end. Geralt is going to see that this third base is indeed being created. Oh no, is he going to prevent? This is bullying. This is so... Geralt in wow. Geralt's in peak form today. My god. This is pretty great. Alright. It looks like... No, Loki. Are you actually going to chase the... Okay. I was justified. Never mind. Alright. Loki finally going to clear out the minerals here so they can actually mine from the third base now and properly send things back and forth. War Prism is coming out now. DT Shrine finishing up. Loki going straight for the Roach Warren. Not a bad call. First two DTs warping in just outside of range there. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. What? Oh, we're going to lose the queens. Yeah, there's really not that much in terms of detection for Loki right now. I think the third base might actually be doomed. Do we even have a layer? We don't even have a layer. We don't have a layer started. Loki is thinking quick on their feet though. Getting the one spore crawler down as quickly as possible, as well as using the queens to push that away. We do have a massive counterattack coming up, though, and I don't think Geralt's really prepared for it. We do have a couple of adepts here to hold the line and a couple of DTs as well. There's a lot of Zerglings that are about to go down, though. Like, yeah, I don't think it was worth it. Like, even the adepts didn't even go down. Loki might be feeling a little bit desperate here. At this point, Loki does have plenty of detection. Oh my god, even cleaning up the creep too. This is Protoss madness, I swear. So, we do have Geralt up 11 workers versus a Zerg. We're getting all sorts of great tech options. Actually, we're getting Blink. We're getting +1/+1. We're getting Disruptors. Unfortunately, does manage to pick up that Archon last second. We've lost 8 workers already. We're falling behind so bad. Loki's struggling to pick up the pieces. Actually trying to get a 4th base. But Geralt has, besides for the one attack here that didn't go too well, Geralt's been mostly able to kind of do whatever he wants on his side of the map. Like, we're even getting it's not Gravitic Drive. What is the speed upgrade for observers? What is this? I guess he'll tell me later. Either way, it's observer speed. Archon continuing to be a nuisance. We're all going for that rich gas 4th. I mean, why not? At this point, you've created so much space for yourself that it would be a crime not to. Loki's still in this game. Grabbing the Baneling Nest. We're trying to put together all the pieces to actually deal with Geralt's army. We do have a higher army supply, but it is mostly Roach Ravager, which is a little bit scary. We have gotten to the 66 drone limit. So at this point, Loki should have the ability to kind of crank out as many roaches as he wants, but I feel like this may be a little bit too late. Here we go, Geralt pushing into the 3rd base location. See if he can actually decent splits, but unfortunately a couple of those roaches do come back into the disruptor ball. Geralt pushing into the 4th base, which is a bit rather significantly undefended, I suppose. Loki deciding just to cut his losses there, defend the 3rd base instead. Actually, no, now trying to push it to the army. Oh, no, 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 no. That's a nasty disruptor hit. And now Loki's army has been completely eviscerated. GG's going to be called. Geralt's going to take game number 1. And Geralt was in peak form that game. Delaying the third base for as long as he did. The DT drop doing as much damage as it did. It's absolutely beautiful. Alright, we're going to be hopping into game number 2 between these two players. Alright. Here we are on Altitude, one of the larger maps of the pool. Actually, it is the largest map. Spawning in the bottom left-hand side, it is Geralt. With the green Zerg pieces down but not out. Actually, oh, we're going for a what is this build called? Either way, it's Loki. So I've noticed that there are Zergs that have started doing the one extractor trick again, which is kind of weird. Like, I don't know, it's just, it feels weird to me just because, like, a while back, it feels like people had figured it out and just like, no, this is never worth it. But here we are doing it. Unless I'm missing something. Was it Overlord late or something? No, it has to be a I'm so confused because I know I've seen people doing it again now. Oh, my brain hurts. Either way, it's a fairly standard start for both players. I don't know. I feel like saying that Geralt's going to go for another DT drop or Stargate, but I feel like if I say that at this point, he's going to go Robo opening, even though no Protoss player does a Robo opening anymore. So far, it's a fairly standard opening out of both players. You've got to be kidding me! What? I don't know. At this point, the only thing I know this is a game of StarCraft. Although, no, I'm not even going to say that because at this point I'm scared that I'm going to be proven wrong and this is actually Brood War I'm casting. I've just been hallucinating the 3D graphics, the StarCraft 2 units. It's all been a fever dream. We're going Disruptor drop. Sure, why not? Geralt hasn't done... It's fine. It's fine. So this time, Loki's been given plenty of space to kind of... just kind of be let free and do whatever they want to do. We are, let's see. This is fine for the most part. Alright, we do have disruptors on the way. We also have gravitic drive. So this is going to be speed disruptor drops. If you're not prepared for it, this can be a pretty devastating build. I think he's trying to... Right now, he's just going to try and get some damage done with the Adepts. Imagine once the second Disruptor comes out, that Warp Prism is going to be going home. Fortunately, both the Adepts are going to get caught, not before getting 2 drone kills. I don't know if that's necessarily worth it for 2 Adepts, but either way. Now, Loki does have a rather nice swell of Zerglings, but there is a problem in the drone count. We're going to try and dive in here real quick. Fortunately, Geralt has the has a nice little pylon block, or a nice little pocket for the Adepts to sit in. It's going to be very difficult for Loki to break that with even with a large swell of Zerglings. It's going to be difficult. Now, Loki is going to see that's coming in. We do have the Queens moving into position to deal with it. Do you have Roach Speed on the way? So it looks like, yeah, Loki really wants to go for this Roach Hammer as quickly as possible. Bit of a whiff there from Geralt. We're going double Stargate? Okay. Just when you figured that you had a player... And, oh my god, we're going Fleet Beacon too? Alright, we're getting a couple of Queens here and there. It's damage. I don't think it's necessarily the best damage, but it is damage nonetheless. Like, that's less energy for creep spread, less energy for... I guess it wasn't a larval injection. Couple of steps say we get warped in. It looks like this mineral line is going to be evacuated for the time being. That was such a dirty trick. I can't believe Geralt almost got away with that. Causing the workers to evacuate to the natural and then hitting him with the disruptor. It's just mean. Either way, we do have double carriers on the way now. I feel like I've seen this... Somebody did this build recently, I feel like. Gonna have to get that disruptor out of there. You could lose the Warp Prism in the other disruptor, though. Oh, he's getting a decent number of worker kills here. Loki's struggling to kind of keep up. We do have the Twilight Council on the way. I'm assuming we're going to try and get into... We have a Spire out of Loki. Did Loki figure this out? 1 second. Well, Loki didn't figure it out, but I guess that was just part of Loki's game plan the whole time. I'm not sure what would have tipped him off to the fact that Geralt's going double Stargate. We'll have to see if Loki goes for Corruptors or not. So if he goes for Corruptors, then something definitely tipped him off. Could be. Maybe gas count, although I feel like 6 gases for Protoss at this point isn't that weird. These disruptors still causing troubles. Templar Archives finishing up here. This is going to be a rather scary Skytoss army in a second. Now, Geralt's economy is actually significantly better than Loki's right now. Whiffs with the disruptors. So Loki is continuing to pump out his pump up his roach count. He's going to have a really decent roach hammer here in a second. He's also going to have a flock of mutalisks coming in here soon. We'll have to see what happens because I don't think that's going to be Carrier Archon charge lot or whatever this is going to turn out to be. Actually, I think with enough Mutalisk, you can probably stand a chance versus the Carriers if you like kind of come in from the back. You don't engage into the Archon, but we'll have to see. The Mutalisk could definitely chase this down, though. Oh yeah, actually Loki getting into position to catch it. Respect the hustle. Oop. Gets the warp prism, but misses one of the disruptors. Alright, this is actually kind of a scary army. We do have the Mutalisk now coming into the main base. It looks like Loki has decided that this is now the time to go and do some harassment. We have a couple of shield batteries on the way. Oh, this is going to be Loki's first look at the carriers. Yeah, we're in a... It's kind of a scary position to be in at this point. 5th base going up now for Geralt. And yeah, Loki is just going to kind of pull the trigger on this. I don't think he has much of a choice. That being said, this 4th base is highly defended. It has had plenty of opportunities to just kind of build up and do whatever it wants to do. Disruptor hit's going to go out. Sacrificing a Zealot for a couple of Roaches. I feel like that's probably a good trade. That being said, a lot of Geralt's army is kind of being taken out here. If we could take out the Archons, that would actually be fantastic. Fortunately, a couple charge lights are going to be able to tank for the Archon here a little bit. We do have the mothership on the way. More Archons will be on the way here soon. Loki going into Corruptor production, but we're only getting 4 Corruptors out at a time. It's not particularly great. Like, especially against this many carriers. Like, you need a decent... Oh, there's actually a lot of Corruptors out. I missed that. Okay. So there actually are a lot of Corruptors out. Never mind. Storm only just started. It was kind of surprising. So, Geralt now has this mostly Skytoss army. What do we... We have a couple of Archons. Like, there's no way Geralt thinks this works, right? Like, Loki is getting a rather significant number of Corruptors. Like, he's going to be able to pop these carriers very, very quickly. Although, that being said... We're not getting into Hive Tech, which is a little scary. Like, it would be nice to have, I think even Investors would be a good call here. You need some form of Spellcaster. Oh my god. That is a huge hit for Geralt. Loki managing to catch a couple of those carriers out in the open. Super unfortunate. It looks like, what is happening here? Air Weapons level 3 is about to finish up, which is actually incredible. Hive on the way now. I feel like it's a bit of a late Hive. I mean, Vipers would be so useful, but at this point, it's like... Does he actually need them? At this point, Loki's pretty much maxed out. We don't... Okay. Trying to come in here and get as many probe kills as possible, but it looks like a lot of the yeah, a lot of those Banelings are going to be taken out by Psystorms or just kind of charging into Zealots there. Two more Stargates. Hive's about to finish up now for Loki. It's exciting to see. It would be nice to see some Vipers come out onto the field. You have a hit squad of Zealots trying to get some damage done, but, I mean, Loki's had some opportunities to get a couple Spine Crawlers here. So we actually are about maxed out, both players. We do have the Vipers coming out here soon. At this point, this is actually kind of a scary army that Geralt is fielding. We have plenty of splash damage from the Archons and the High Templar. It's going to take... Loki's going to have to do some positioning with the Corruptors. Also, whenever the Vipers come out, he can snatch away some of these units one by one. Oh, wow. Going for the high yield. Well done. I actually love this mechanic where you smash the watchtower and then take the base. Actually, I'm pretty sure this was this map was made by my friend Character. I actually do enjoy this map a lot. A neat little unique mechanic. Alright. Both players are pretty much maxed out. Loki going in, focusing on upgrades. Oh my god, are we actually made an Ultra Den? That's actually not a bad idea. We don't have a lot of anti-armor units down on the ground. So it's not the worst idea. I mean, despite what the Legacy of the Void trailer showed, Ultras actually do beat Archons. Oh, this is actually becoming quite interesting. Geralt basically upgrading everything at this point. We got, wow, we're even getting tectonic destabilizers. We don't have a single Tempest on the field, and resonating glaives. He's just like, you know what? Clearing out a couple of mutas in order to grab some more corruptors and infestors. Geralt going for the slow push. I'm actually kind of down with what Loki has set up here. Now, if this goes badly, I mean, he's got a little bit of bank. Maybe it's fine. Does lose one of the. This is one of the Vipers. Does some damage to the mothership. All right, so this is going to be more of the slow trudging late game of PvZ that we're all familiar with. At this point, both players trying to fill out their tech tree as much as possible, just to have the options necessary if they need them. I love this. Okay, no, it is 2 Ultras. Never mind. Right, Geralt's on the move again. We do have the air units kind of poking in from the back here. Oh! Almost lands a nasty storm there, but Loki quick on his feet. Geralt trying to poke in again. So at this point, I'm actually kind of surprised. We do have some static defense here, but not the usual like spore fields that you would see a lot of other late game Zergs go for. Loki going kind of deep here. It's going to be able to take out the... Yeah, it does take out the... Oh, but does get caught in the time bubbles. Not the biggest of deals. Did lose a couple of corruptors there. Oh, this one lone disruptor getting that one big shot. So Loki is actually fielding a bigger army right now. And it still has a decent... Well, compared to Geralt, not a decent bank. But it should be... I don't know. I don't... I'm concerned that that's not enough bank. Like, Geralt's going to be able to, like, remake army very quickly. Alright, Loki trying not to overextend here. Geralt trying to take another base, but unfortunately is being impeded by the creep. Oh, where are you? Why are you guys going over there? It might be a little bit of a mistake. It's not going to be able to capitalize on the fungal. It's actually a wild army Loki has going on. Geralt's slow pushing with bases now. I do feel like Geralt's had a slight advantage here. He is managing to pick off, like, just kind of individual units and, like, bleed Loki dry here. Like, I feel like Loki technically has a scarier army, but I don't think it's really going to matter if he keeps getting, like, picked apart like it is. A couple of stray fungals go out. I don't think he actually caught anything there. We do have something going on over here. A couple of Dark Templar are going to be engaging into that base, preventing Loki from really being able to mine anymore. Loki's going to be able to take out this base. It was pretty far forward, and it's... I mean, Geralt really doesn't have to commit to defending this, but Loki does have to commit to cleaning it up, because this is going to be... at some point, it's going to be important for him to take this base. If Geralt takes this base, he's just going to have... He's just going to have like a numbers advantage at some point. Nice feedbacks there onto the Vipers. Geralt's bank just absolutely out of control. Loki, unfortunately, just not really able to mine. Or I guess mining, but how were you? Yeah, we're making some more static defense. Ooh, this mothership a little bit out of position. Geralt trying to come in from the back. Really nice storms there. Let's say the Dark Templar are taking out a couple of drones here and there. I mean, Loki is building a lot of static D that's not really going to be doing many favors for him. I mean, it is going to defend from some of these backstabs, but not really that well. Geralt still trying to pick off these units kind of one by one. We are short on Archons now. We are grabbing Tempest, though. Well, throwing away these kind of like little backsteps. Unfortunately, like I don't agree with the Banelings being used there. Like Banelings are kind of expensive to be used on these kind of like 2 zealot counterattacks. We're going to have more Tempests out on the field here in just a second, which is actually going to be great for taking out some of these Broodlords. Looks like Loki is going to commit here. Nice fungals do go down. We do have storms kind of going down as well. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. We do have the mothership that just went down. Is there actually enough here for Loki to actually be able to take out all of his carriers? Suddenly, this isn't looking great for Geralt. I mean, then again, Geralt does have a rather significant bank. Oh, he's losing a lot of carriers. Geralt swapping back into gateway units. We do have a couple of stalkers here on the ground now. Going to be taking out some of these spare units. We're immediately blinking under the Broodlord. That's quite a risky move. Now Loki is still fielding a pretty decent army, but the thing is that he's got a lot of Protoss. He has a lot of Protoss bases to carve through before Geralt's actually in any danger. In fact, I don't even know if Geralt actually has to defend these bases right now. But he is doing a pretty good job at defending them. Loki refilling his supply with is he making lurkers now? Yeah, making lurkers. I was wondering for a second why they were Hydralisk. Geralt rebuilding the Golden Armada. But also looks like we're going to have we're setting up the what is it called? The Akundalar? Tip of the Protoss Spear or whatever. Right, another pretty good engagement here for Loki. Really nice use of the Vipers and the Infestors. Geralt trying to pop those Vipers where he can. Now we do have lurkers on the field. This is going to be a bit dangerous for the Stalkers to try and engage into. Geralt's still going into Stalkers. That's interesting. Doesn't... These are fully up... These are not fully upgraded lurkers. I was about to say, like... I just kind of assumed that they were fully upgraded. Like, if they have... I mean, Stalkers can deal with them if they... Anyways. Geralt takes game number 2. Well done to Geralt. Well played by Loki. It was a valiant effort. All right. With that being said, it is time to hop into our winners match. This will be Geralt versus Aerokfire. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 1. All right. Spawning in the top left-hand side of Gresvin, representing Psystorm once again, it is Geralt. And on the other side of the map with the blue Protoss pieces, representing Maturino, it is Aerokfire. Once again, quick shout out to our Ko-Fi page. We're now uploading replays of our tournaments there. If you have the need for some excellent StarCraft action, definitely check it out. Drop us a couple of bucks and we'll give you some replays for it. It's a win-win. Both players looks like they're going for the standard 2-gate opening. Do you have Geralt's probe kind of going off the beaten path there? I don't even want to say what the tech path is for Geralt. He's got me scared from the last 2 games. I don't even want to say. But what are you going to do, Geralt? Are you going to put down like a starport? Like a Terran starport? Come on. Show us what you've got. Aerokfire just kind of poking around right now. It looks like he's just looking for proxies, I think. Yeah, just poking around, trying to be cautious, trying to be wary. These are dark times for the Protoss people. They weirdly have a penchant for backstabbing each other recently. All right, Geralt, Spire. Actually, that's a good start gate. All right. Aerokfire, or actually both players going for the double adept opening. Gonna have to watch your front doors. Make sure there's no nonsense afoot. Now, Aerokfire does see that there's no tech here and that there's a pylon missing, so he has to know that there is a proxy out there somewhere. He's checking some of the kind of key locations for the more dangerous ones. Are you going to see that? I'm not sure if that's actually in range. Ah! Just barely missed it. That's unfortunate. Anyways. Where did they put down a pylon there? Is this like, does that actually block? Cheeky little pylon here from Geralt. Now, Geralt's adepts are quickly approaching. There's no way. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, so today I learned shades block shades. That's actually a really neat trick. That is such a neat trick. I did not know you could do that. Either way, it looks like Aerokfire's adepts are going to pay for this with their lives. Now that the Oracle is out on the field. Geralt's Oracle. Trying to find just like a little weak spot. Fortunately, Airlock Fire is keeping things locked down pretty tight. Geralt is going to see that there is a rowboat and a third gateway, so he's going to be aware of that. So I think at this point, Airlock Fire is just going to pump out as many Stalkers as possible and just go for it. Moving across the map now. We do have one shield battery here, but I don't think that's enough units to actually defend this. Like, even with the shield battery there. Airlock Fire warping in a couple more Stalkers. We might just see him go for it now. Here we go. Airlock Fire immediately losing a Stalker, actually. Unfortunately, it looks like Geralt just has too good of a defense here. Setting up a Stasis Ward just in case. How is Geralt managing to pick off some of these units like that? Either way, nice Warp Prism juggling coming out of Airlock Fire. It looks like Geralt might have met his match here, maybe? Yeah, at this point, Airlock Fire actually has a significant Stalker advantage. He's going to try and push the issue here by taking pot shots at the Nexus. Super Battery is going to be popped. And it looks like at this point, Airlock Fire is just going to take a straight up fight versus Geralt. And I think he actually has more than enough to deal with this, especially with the Warp Prism juggling. Geralt trying to move forward to engage into this, but it just looks like it's not going to be quite enough. There are a lot of hull damage Stalkers here, though, so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, suddenly Airlock Fire just does not have as many Stalkers here at the front. Airlock Fire continuing to try and push in here. He's so close. I feel like he's so close. Ooh, almost takes out the Phoenix. Ooh, nice little bait there, making sure to take out both of the Stasis Wards. Airlock Fire continuing to push in. This might be it for Geralt, but no, he continues to push us back. A lot of these Stalkers are just too hull damage and getting one-shot by the group of Stalkers that Geralt has, but he's continuing to Warp Prism juggle here, so maybe it's going to be just barely enough. Geralt might just barely save this base, but Airlock Fire is keeping up the aggression. We're still just continuing to try and crank out as many Stalkers on both sides. Airlock Fire just trying to make this happen, trying to make this work. Almost loses the Warp Prism. That's going to be game over if he does, I feel like. Airlock Fire continuing to push in. And it looks like he might actually be able to break Geralt here. Having enough Stalkers to one-shot at this point. GG's going to be called. Airlock Fire takes game number 1. Well done to Airlock Fire. All right. Gonna be hopping into game number 2 here. Near Humanity. All right. Spawning in the bottom right hand side of the map, it is Geralt. Taking a pretty convincing game 1, it is Airlock Fire. It's like a double gate opening out of both players once again. Rope continuing on its merry way. This time... Oh. Where are you going? Alright, so the probes know that they're there. It looks like Geralt's going to keep everything in base. So is Fire. Sometimes, you know, that's for the best. Alright, Fire is going to come in here, see that there's not really too much to be worried about at this point. Geralt going for a double Stalker opening. Oh, this time Fire going for the Stargate opening. Alright. Geralt actually going for a really early expansion here. Expansion before tech. Oh, that's cheeky. The 2 Stalkers are going to pop out here in a second, so I don't think it really matters. Geralt doing something similar to Fire over here. Actually, Geralt going for the Twilight Council opening. Alright, so I think, ooh, Fire getting... That's a lot of adepts. Ooh. Geralt actually kind of catching this, out and about. The adepts are going to go ahead and, they're going to go for it. They are going to get stopped at the top of the ramp, though. Geralt, though, I feel like this is kind of scarier. This has to be a bit scarier. Geralt going to go for it. I believe he's actually going to depower some of these structures. Fire trying to break in. And it's just kind of a race against time. Who can break in first? I mean, it's definitely Geralt, but it's more exciting if I pretend I don't know. Double Oracle now on the other side of the map. Actually, this is... Yeah, it's kind of scary for Fire. He lost a lot of production time there. These Oracles, though, coming in, doing some work. Adepts immediately head back out. Oh, this is so weird. This is just weird. Blink about halfway done for Geralt. Fire starting up his Twilight Council. Oracle's popping in. How much more damage are we going to do? Now up to 8 workers. The Adepts. Uh-oh. The door's open. You invited them in. Does not commit. I feel like that's probably the right call, though. There's a lot of Stalkers here. But Geralt now on the hunt. Oh, Fire's just trying to bait this out. It's actually kind of funny. Definitely no chance that Geralt's going to be able to mine from this base for right now. Unless he manages to take out all of the Adepts. One Adept does manage to escape. These Oracles, though. Oh my god, they both... I cannot believe they both escaped. That is absurd. Geralt feeling the pressure. He's going to be trying to push into Fire. Actually, there's a lot of Stalkers here, and I think that's just enough to actually out-damage a super battery. We'll have to see. Geralt now pushing in. He's going to take out the shield battery immediately. And he does have Blink, so this is going to be very tricky for Arcfire to actually defend against. Arcfire forced back into his main base. There's not really much he can do to try and defend the natural right now. Excellent Blink micro here from Geralt. The Immortal is going to be able to come and help anchor. Oh, this Oracle is still trying to get stuff done. Fortunately, there is a shield battery there, so it's not going to do too much damage, I don't think. Geralt now going into charge. Arcfire finishing up his own Blink. Alright, Geralt trying to go for it again. Oh, but Arcfire actually managing to chase. Geralt still has a Stalker advantage, but I think a lot of them are... There are a couple at home. There is still an Oracle out on the field that could cause some damage, so... Arcfire trying to increase the amount of time it takes for Geralt to actually cross the map. Currently, it doesn't seem like their plans are too dissimilar. Going for very similar compositions. Geralt getting a couple of extra not oracles, adepts. Geralt continuing to kind of poke around and see there's any angle that he can actually attack from right now. Do you have the adepts snooping around? Arcfire kind of content to sit back for the time being and build up his forces. Unfortunately, yeah, it looks like these adepts are going to get in, get a couple of kills. Not the end of the world. But we do have Geralt's Stalkers here at the front. It's so weird to see Geralt having map control when he actually doesn't have... Like, he has less Stalkers right now. It's all about presentation. It's all about bluffing and presentation. Arcfire trying to chase down these Stalkers. Decides against pushing too far. Could accidentally overextend. Geralt going for that fourth base. Arcfire doing the same. Ooh, Geralt actually going for a Dark Shrine. It's going to be very good at causing a little bit of mayhem and mischief later on in the game. When Arcfire is across the map trying to deal with another of Geralt's bases, suddenly those Dark Templar come in. Oops, where'd all those workers go? Where'd all my tech buildings go? Why is there shimmering parts of the map now? A nice little snipe there. Arcfire preparing to transition. Oh, both of them now transitioning into Disruptor Tech, it seems like. Ooh, Arcfire initiating an engagement. They're both so scared of each other. Ooh, actually managing to snipe the Oracle. That's pretty big. No more revelations or the ability to poke in and do damage. That's actually a lot of Immortals. Ooh, Gerald actually managing to, well, almost pick off one of those immortals. But really nice reflexes there by Airlockfire, picking it up with the Warp Prism. We do have charge lots coming out onto the field now, which it could present a bit of a problem for Airlockfire. It's going to be a bit difficult to blink back. Alright, Geralt feeling confident. Is going to try and engage into this. Decent force fields, but unfortunately all the Zealots do get through. We do have the blink up. You know, I thought for a second Airlockfire actually would have been able to take this engagement pretty easily. It looks like no. Do have a significant number of immortals in Geralt's army. It's going to make it a bit tricky. Alright, we do have this Disruptors coming out. Does take out a couple of those Zealots. Geralt pushing into the natural of Airlockfire. Airlockfire trying to defend from the third. This actually is kind of a difficult place to attack into. No, you're not getting that base. You're not getting that base right now, Airlockfire. You're not getting it. What are you doing? No, that should not be allowed. Your enemy was right in your face. He was hanging out there for a second. Another engagement at the fourth base. Airlockfire seems like he wants to keep pushing Geralt further and further out. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea, especially with these immortals in the back. We do have the Disruptors here at the top, though. I think Airlockfire is trying to bait Geralt into a mistake to hit him with the Disruptors. Yeah, there we go. Now Geralt's going to not let this happen. Ooh, almost takes out one of the immortals. Yeah, now Airlockfire feels like he has to defend this base. You have a big engagement here. Geralt actually blinking forward, a very aggressive blink forward. Where are the Disruptors? Oh, that's super unfortunate. Geralt with the Disruptor backstab. Actually, I actually missed that. We actually did have a had a little bit of a backstab there with the Zealots. All right. That is going to put us 1-1 here in the winners match. Go ahead and hop into game number 3 between these two players. All right. Here we are on Babylon. Spawning in the bottom right-hand side of the map, it is Geralt. And on the other side of the map with the blue Protoss pieces, give it up for Airlockfire. Once again, double gate out of both players. Not going for anything outwardly aggressive right off the bat. Scouting time's the same. Players have decided that this ace match, they will play straight up. Quick little high five between the probes. You know, now that I think about it, probes versus probes is probably one of the few unit matchups you see in StarCraft 2. No, I take that back because you do have cannon rushing and stuff like that. Actually, what faction unit or what faction workers would be like the most cool with each other? I was like, probes versus probes. Like you see them fight a lot whenever there's like cannon rushes and stuff. Airlockfire putting this pylon in a rather cheeky location. Let's see what he puts there. Maybe SCVs? Actually, no. Maybe drones. Well, no, because then you see you do see, or at least like a year ago, you would see like a lot of like spine crawler drone pools. Oh, putting the Stargate out in this like sneaky little location. It's definitely not going to be scouted, but it's also going to take a while for... I mean, it's definitely going to put Geralt in a sense of unease, for sure. I'm pretty sure you can't see it from up here. We haven't seen Geralt's choice of tech yet. Just going for another 2 stalkers. Arrow fire going for the Oracle. Yeah, these 2 stalkers are poking around a lot. It's just trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, Geralt's a little bit scared. We see him going for the Robo. We already see the shield battery. Once again, another proxy just missed by inches. In the far, far future, the most advanced species in the galaxy can only see like 10 meters in front of them. Do have the stalkers continuing to poke around. Unfortunately, did Geralt see that? No, I don't think Geralt saw that. Geralt's going in. Or arrow fire's going in. Now, there already is the shield battery here, so I doubt the probes are going to take too much damage. But it's still burning energy on that. Might not be the worst thing ever. That being said, Geralt does have a bit of a numerical advantage here. Second Oracle will be showing up here momentarily. Arrow Fire's Twilight Council finishing up. Geralt's about halfway done. So we are going to see Arrow Fire with the blink advantage sooner, but yeah, Arrow Fire's still trying to get this. Oh, actually pretty nice there. Taking out 4 workers, trading in a little bit of hull damage, but that's okay. And we do have 2 more adepts gonna be poking in. I don't think it's the biggest of deals, just because, yeah, we already have some stalkers here, but I think there's still gonna be like maybe a decent amount of damage still done. Oracles dive in, try to get some more damage done. Unfortunately, Arc Fire does lose one of them. All right, blink this is about halfway done for Arrow Fire. We're continuing to pump out stalkers. Arrow Fire actually had a decent advantage here. Already taken out 9 workers. I lost another Oracle. It's a bit unfortunate. He does have an economic advantage, and I think that's going to pay off for him in a little bit. But right now, oh no, just caught up in workers, or not workers, stalkers. But we also don't see a warp prism coming out. Geralt will have that. Looks like Arrow Fire is going to hold back after Blink finishes up, bide his time. But Geralt wanting to obtain map presence. Ooh, nice blink forward, managing to catch some of these stalkers by surprise. Arrow Fire with a really nice jump. Now, blink is finished up for Geralt. Airfire actually managing to get into this third base location without Geralt knowing. It's going to get a cancel on that. Ooh, Geralt going for the Dark Shrine now. Relieve some pressure. Actually, yeah, we still have the Warp Prism there. Warping in a couple of Adepts that snipe some probes. Arrowfire, yeah, it looks like Arrowfire is going to be retreating now. After spotting, I guess he spotted the Warp Prism with this. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, there's nothing here to actually defend. It looks like Geralt is going to get a little bit of damage done. Dark Shrine is going to be finishing up, so I'm imagining even more damage later on. Arrowfire, struggling a little bit with this. I actually sent every single unit home. So these Adepts are going to get some more damage done in the third base. And it looks like Geralt's actually going to want to pounce on the army as it's... I take it back. I thought that's what Geralt was setting up, but it was not. We do, however, have a DT warping in. And I don't know... There will be an observer out here soon, but it's... Oh, that's really cute. Using the probes to body block the Stalker so that the DT can't necessarily snipe it. Geralt does go after it, though. It does go after the workers, I should say. I mean, 10 workers have died, but Arrowfire is killing a couple of Geralts, and Arrowfire is still at an 11 worker advantage. Which is continuing to climb. Also, when it comes to army, Geralt does have... no, I don't think 2 Immortals is enough to overcome a 10 Stalker advantage here. Arrowfire just in a fantastic position right now. And +2 is going to be on the way here soon. I don't think he's going to have the attack advantage. Oh, he might actually have the attack advantage for just a second. It's not going to push it too hard. Actually, I feel like retreating here was... Well, there are the Immortals. Geralt continuing to kind of keep pressure on Arrowfire, not letting him... Not giving him an opportunity to really get out onto the map. We do have something going on here at the third base. I'm not 100% sure what's going on because we have a big fight here at the fourth. And I'm actually shocked, but Arrowfire is losing this fight. Those Immortals are actually doing a lot of... Putting in a lot of work here. Fourth base, it looks like the fourth base is going to be canceled. Oh, Arrowfire actually jumping on top of those Immortals immediately, and I think he just took away Geralt's only advantage here in this fight. Now, on the other side, there was something going on here, but I'm not sure it's really worth mentioning. We do have Dark Templar in the main base of Arrowfire, taking out so many probes. That's 17 probes down. And Arrowfire was doing some of his own damage here. I believe it was just a couple of Adepts. Arrowfire might be feeling a little bit of pressure and is going to try and push this while he can. It's actually shocking to me. Geralt's done such a good job of backstabbing Arrowfire when he least expects it. He's not quite able to try and break into this yet. This is actually really shocking. Like, it seemed like Geralt had been down so much throughout this entire game, but now he's just kind of flipped the script. Arrowfire trying to push the issue, but it's just not enough. He doesn't have enough Stalkers here. He's losing more probes at home. Alright, +2 is now finishing up for the Protoss player in blue. He is throwing down a couple of photon cannons to prevent this from happening again. But Geralt's army is actually climbing ahead. What tech do we even have for Arrowfire right now? I think we just want to make this work with Stalkers. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. We do have the charge lots that are going to be coming in here fairly soon. I don't know what that probe was thinking. Where are these probes going? Alright, Arrowfire transitioning into Zealots for body blocking and taking out the Immortals. Unfortunately, does not manage to snipe that Observer. I think Geralt's blink control is, or just Stalker control in general is just better. Like, there's some of these engagements where I don't think he should be coming out so far ahead, but he continuously does. Arrow Fire hanging in there, trying to preserve this 4th base. Now, Geralt definitely has a numerical advantage here. So, probably... Alright, Geralt is going to be trying to rotate to the other side. We do have a couple of Zealots that are going to come in here. It looks like they are going to be able to get some probe damage done once again. Meanwhile, Geralt trying to do the same here. He's going to be poking around. I imagine he is going to see that the... Oh my god. Geralt just going directly into the natural, knowing that Airlock Fire was out of position. So he is going to press the issue too hard. Actually, no, yeah, he's going to try and push this. He has a better concave right now than Airlock Fire does. And he's also taking out workers in the 4th base. It's just an excellent backstab from Geralt. Now, it looks like at this point, Airlock Fire is going to have an advantage here. And Geralt is going to be pushed back. But Geralt is cranking out more units, and he should be safe from a counterattack. Both players will be getting +3 weapons here fairly soon. Geralt now expanding, or getting more gateways to fuel this Stalker Man army. We do have a couple more DTs here in the Warp Prism. More backstabs ready to roll. Arrow Fire finally getting into Robobait technology. Some disruptors would be very helpful here. Another backstab from Airlock Fire, getting deep into the mineral line, taking out a couple of probes. Oh. Wanted to go into the natural, but decided not to. But it's probably for the best. We do have the Warp Prism coming in here. Big move out from Geralt as he does this. See, this is how you need to play it. Always be doing damage in multiple areas. Always cause distractions and problems for your opponent. Tries to push it to the 4th base. Not going to get anything done there, but it's going to get a ton done in the main. More probes do go down. Another Zealot, a group of Zealots coming in here. They're going to get some damage done as well. A couple of Stalkers. Oh, there's no detection here. It's been depowered. There's no Observer. There's no Observer that's going to come out. So unfortunately, these Dark Templar are just going to cause all sorts of havoc here. And there's just no way for Airlock Fire to reestablish connection with Ire. Unfortunately, he also recalled way too many Stalkers. And it looks like the main army is just going to absolutely shred here at the front. Airlock Fire's 3rd base in a lot of trouble. GG's going to be called. Geralt taking game number 3. I swear, I thought Geralt was dead. Or not dead, but like in trouble for most of that game. And he turned it on its head. He just caused like all sorts of problems for Airlock Fire there at the end. Really well done by Geralt. Alright, we have one more series to go through before we call it a day. This is going to be the lower brackets. Gref versus Loki. We do not have our decider matches played yet, so those will be casted next week along with the rest of Group A. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into this ZVP between Loki and Gref. I imagine we're going to see all sorts of wild shenanigans. Here we are on Gresvin for our lower bracket match. Spawning in the bottom right hand side, it is Loki under the alias Jano. On the other side of the map, With the yellow Protoss pieces, it is Gref. This is already looking promising. Gref's about to cannon rush this man. There's not many reasons why you would put a pylon here versus a Zerg. Just saying. Loki going for a pretty early hatch there. Yep. Another extractor trick. I wish I remember who actually did this before. I cannot think of it off of, like, I know there was a pro player that did it, but I don't know who was like popularized this again. Got some pylons in some hidden locations. Or I guess a pylon now. So this is kind of an early probe to be in here. I'll be curious to see if Loki picks up on what's going on. Gas, very quick gas steal. I don't know if that's necessary. Alright, Loki now spotting it. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit too late. We do have a couple of drones that are being sent after the probe. Four drones, that's a bit. Pylon does get canceled. It's not really necessary anymore. Low ground cannon, nice. We're going to be taking out two spots at once. Loki going for a spine crawler defense. It should finish up before this cannon does. Actually, I don't know the build time between these two. I'm pretty sure the spine crawler, it should be about the same, and the spine crawler was put down first. The spine crawler should pop up first. I'm incorrect. You learn something new every day. There's a spine crawler a little bit further back, which should help. So I think this one will finish, but it's going to be heavily wounded whenever it manages to pull back. Oh, Loki panicking maybe here, maybe a little bit. It's going to go ahead and pull everything, take out this first cannon. Well, he only lost a couple of Zerglings, so maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. We do have the spine crawler that's being put down here at the front, and it looks like Gref is no longer going to be able to really do anything here at the top of the ramp. That being said, though, this hatchery is going to be taken out. I don't think Loki can take it out fast enough to actually deal with it. We do see a couple of Zerglings moving across the map here to try and get some damage done to Gref's base. Oh, actually, no, yeah, the assimilator block is actually kind of big here. Loki is going to be unable to actually get out a significant number of Ravagers to deal with it. We do have the photon cannon at the top of the ramp. And we do have production now, so a couple more units will be pumped out here. So I imagine Gref's follow-up is going to be, I feel like it has to be Stargate. Yeah, Stargate. With the Stargate follow-up. Pretty sure it's probably going to be Void Ray. Loki continuing to slowly make progress on reclaiming his land. So I have the Zerglings here on the low ground, just checking everything out. Gref kind of retreating. Not often you see building retreat. Stalker does manage to take out one of the spine crawlers there. Surprisingly enough, Gref almost manages to take out a queen. Loki going to spread some creep. Oh, loses the queen. That's actually a big deal. Not going to have any more creep spread or larva production here for a minute. Loki's electing to go into a Baneling Nest. Which I feel like isn't the worst call. That's not the worst call, especially since you weren't able to mine from both your gases for quite a while. It's just, it's going to be tricky trying to close in on this, though. Oh, Gref realizing the backstabs there. So Loki is going to slowly but surely pick apart the rest of this defense, but the problem is that Gref is already expanding. I think, is this the first time we've seen Gref expand? This might be. I'm not 100% sure. Zergling's going to try to go down the ramp. I feel like Loki's feeling a little bit desperate here, and these Zerglings are actually being kind of ripped apart. Unfortunately, the Stalker's going to be able to kind of just kite all of these Zerglings. More Zerglings are going to try and join the fray here. Shield battery does go down, but I don't think that's really the main problem here. We have more Zerglings coming across. So I think Loki is going to break this, but I mean, at what cost at this point? That's a lot of Zerglings to lose. I feel like it was a bit unnecessary. Do you have the Void Ray finally coming across the map? Now, there are 2 queens, so I don't think it's going to do too much damage, but they will be able to kind of poke away at these overlords, maybe get a snipe on them. I don't know. It's just going to be kind of difficult. Oh, yeah. Gref is actually going to go after the new building hatchery there. GGD is going to be called. Gref takes game 1. Quite an excellent aggressive push there. Well done to Gref for taking game 1. Now we'll be hopping into game number 2. Interesting for the Bane Nest. I feel like it's kind of, you know, he didn't mine from his, he wasn't mining from his second gas for a long time, so roaches might have been a little expensive. Roach Ravager, I should say. Ravagers are particularly expensive, so maybe it's a fine idea. All right, here we are on Ancient Cistern, spawning in the top right hand side of the map. Down but not out. It is Loki. And on the other side of the map with the yellow Protoss pieces, going for another cannon rush. You know what? I'm going to introduce... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to introduce Gref whenever he puts that forge down. It is Gref. Both pros moving across the map. We're going to have another exciting edition of cannon rushing on our hands. Backup pylon getting put down. Did Loki spot that? I don't know if Loki spot that. This time, though, we're not putting a pylon here at the top. Oh, wait. Are we really going to slow push from the Nat? Oh, we're doing outpost. Okay. All right. Well, Loki is now aware. He's actually going double gas this time. So I'm assuming he is going to put down a roach nest here fairly soon. Fortunately, this cannon is just a little bit too far out. There we go. It's a little bit too far out, but also not far out enough. It's not going to get any damage done to that. Like, this cannon's not actually going to be able to cover it. I guess unless Zerglings come along the backside, but I don't think that's going to happen. Going directly into the Cyber Core. I'm assuming he's just going to try and get to Stargate as quickly as possible this time. Try and force Loki into investing as much larva and money into units as possible, and then hit him with the Void Ray. Loki going into a heavy link count again. That's a bit surprising. But we are going to have a very, very well fortified cannon wall here at the front. It's going to be kind of difficult for... The longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be for Loki to actually get out. Going for the Bane Nest again. Adept is going to come out, but there's not really anything to harass here yet. More so just kind of keep tabs on the enemy. Yeah. This time it's actually Robo. I keep forgetting that that's actually the follow-up you want to do with this build. It's not Stargate, it's actually Robo. Oh my god, is it going to kill an egg? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a rare sight to behold because you do not often see eggs get killed. Especially not by an adept and a stalker. Lings are going to pop out here. This is actually a pretty good anchor point for Gref to keep falling back into. It's going to be very difficult for Loki to actually break this now. We also have slow Banelings, which is going to be a little bit of a problem. Oop, Zerglings actually do go in for the surround. Where are the Banelings going? Oh my god. Immediately goes for the pylon, taking out a lot of these cannons. But it's just not going to be quite enough. We still have a couple of cannons here at the front. GG is going to be called. Gref takes game 2. The cannon rushing champion. Alright, so I believe that means we're going to see Gref and Airrock fire again in the decider. That's actually pretty exciting. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be all for us today. Again, we're still waiting on the decider from Group B and a couple matches from Group A, but I think we'll be able to show those off next week. Once again, definitely check out our Ko-Fi page. We're now posting replays there. If you've got a little bit extra, if you want to see the replays from the past couple of tournaments, definitely check it out. SSL Pro Season 2 is on there. SSL Cup number 30 is on there. And there will be more to follow there. So definitely check that out. Pledge what you can. It's much appreciated. Also, we do have the Matcherino, or our Matcherino link. I'm so sorry, I have not been able to speak today. UKIE Cup is now on there too. Okay, so that's up now. Do you have the Matcherino link? We're also still being sponsored by DXRacer, so if you're in the market for a new gaming chair, definitely check them out. I believe that's everything. Sniper, since you're still here, you can go ahead and kick off the raid. We will see you next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and yeah, have a good Sunday, I guess.